What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of The Locker Room. I'm here with my man, Jairo. What's going on, brother?
Nah, nothing much. Just, cruising along, not doing much, just chilling.
Day off?
Yeah, day off today, which is good. It's good on the body. The body's been a bit sore after, 7 rounds. And,
Yep.
got Cronulla this week and, we're really looking forward to it.
And so, for you personally, this is the probably the most consecutive first grade you've played?
Yeah, I was especially, in the starting team. I've
Yep.
come down and, I've got a bit of responsibility down here. And, I've been playing about 60 minutes per game. And, it's been a bit tough on the body, but, I'm loving it.
And do you think, what was the specific reason for going from Bronx to Titans? Was it opportunity? Was it position? Was it, what was it?
Yeah, well, personally, I thought it was opportunity, and I thought I could come down here, and I not only wanted to prove to everyone, I wanted to prove to myself that I guess I could be a week in, week out NRL player, and it's something that I love is playing footy, and to be playing it at the highest level at the moment has been a dream come true. And I did love my sport growing up. I played heaps of sports, cricket. I like golf. Golf was a big one. My old man used to take me out all the time, and used to show me a few things, and he was hopeless. But
So you learned all his bad habits.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
I've got a really good slice actually. So I've been trying to get rid of that.
Yep.
What else? Young Jai. I was a real footy head.
Yeah, I love footy.
Yeah, I definitely love footy. My dad sort of brainwashed me when I was young, and I was done from then on. So, my mum and dad have been a big influence on me, and they've definitely followed me along
And pushed you along
so far
into it, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, was it always like from 5-6 years old that you was into sport and playing footy?
Oh, apparently I was 2 years old, and I'd walk around with a bloody golf stick and a golf
really?
ball, and I'd just smack it around the house.
Yep.
And, but then I think when I turned about 4 years old, my old man he tried to force the coach to play me in the under sixes. So I was a couple of years older, and he nagged him, and eventually the coach gave up and let me play. So I started playing at the age of 4, and I've loved it ever since.
Far out. So who was your team growing up then?
I followed the Tigers. So my old man was a massive Tigers fan. And then obviously when I moved to Brisbane, I had to go for Brisbane, and now that I'm back here, I've got to go for the Titans.
So did you make any rep sides growing up or anything like that?
Yeah, so I was pretty lucky. From under 12s, I played Queensland Schoolboys with Ash Taylor actually, and Branko Lee was there as well.
Yep.
So there's a few guys there, and was lucky enough to play in, I guess, all the curtain raisers from 16s, 18s and 20s in the Origin, and, which was pretty special. And then my last year of high school, I made the Australian Schoolboys, which was a great honour for me, and something I'll never forget.
And so with the making those rep sides, was it something that you knew that there was a path to NRL if you continued doing that, or was it more you're good at sport, you love being with your mates, and you're just going to do whatever it is to be with your mates?
Yeah, I think it was mostly that I loved the sport, and footy was something I was passionate about. I didn't really, I've dreamt about playing NRL, and it wasn't something that I thought about when I was younger until I guess when I did move to Brisbane, and I saw players that I had played against coming through the ranks that maybe it could be a job for me, and but I do like playing footy with my mates. And
so you'd play locally if you weren't playing professionally? You'd
be
playing
definitely. I think so. I'd definitely be playing just park footy, and having fun with my mates and having a few beers after the game and enjoying myself.
And so with someone like Ash Taylor, was he always a freak growing up, or was he someone?
He actually was. So he's pretty freakish. He's pretty sporty bloke. He's pretty freakish at everything he does. He considers himself a good ping pong player. He'll tell you that. He'll bloody tell you that all the time.
He's a bum though.
Hey,
is he a bum though?
Yeah. All right. And he'll tell you he's good at golf. He actually can hit the ball pretty well, but it's just he's got to be consistent more, I think.
Oh, he's rocks or diamonds.
Yeah, right. He can be.
So. What about like PS4 or anything like that? Is he playing that?
Not too. I don't think so. When I was living with him, I don't think he didn't. He wasn't big on the PS4. He sort of kept to himself, Ash. I think he missed home a fair bit, and he went home and saw his family, and I think he was pretty homesick, which can get hard away from home, and which he was doing.
Any stories of you and Ash growing up together, getting into any mischief?
Oh, we've had a few arguments actually.
Oh, really? Blah.
Yeah, a few arguments. I can't remember what they're about, but he'd always take it that one step further. You get into an argument with him, and all of a sudden he'd say something personal, and you'd be rocked about it. You wouldn't know what to say back, but nah, he was all right.
He's one of those guys that's like, all right, I'm just going to take it to extremes to end it.
He is. A lot of the boys would probably tell you that. Sorry, Ash, I don't mean to give
throw
it to
you
you
under
on
the
camera.
bus.
Yeah, don't mean to throw you under the bus.
Okay, so you personally getting signed with the Broncos, was that your first NRL club that you were with?
Yeah. So it was. I was in the system when I was 12.
Yep.
Oh, wow. 12 years old. To get a little, I guess, what is it, like a
scholarship?
Yeah, it was like just a come in the mail, and then they just said, "Oh, do you want to come to our development day?" And obviously, being a young kid, following
Stoked.
the NRL, I was stoked, and I was like, "Oh, I want to do that, and we'll go up and have a look." And my dad was like, "No worries," he always let me choose what I wanted to do, and so I went up, and I was lucky enough to be in those development squads till I was about 15, and then signed my first little, I guess, contract with the Broncos, and made my way through the ranks and straight out of high school and moved up there, and I guess tried to train hard, and I guess it was about the end of my first year of 20s, I sort of realised that if I knuckle down and I guess do my best and try my hardest, maybe this could be a job for me, be something for me.
And so last year at 20s, were you part of the first grade squad then, or were you about to get asked to the first grade squad?
Yeah, so about halfway through my last year of 20s, they offered me a 3-year contract. Oh no, sorry, my second year of 20s, they offered me a 3-year contract.
Yep.
And it wasn't, I think, so 2014, I would have gone full time 2016.
Yep.
And when that happened, I sort of just went, well, if I knuckle down, I'm going to be in a full-time system in 2 years' time. If I knuckle down and I guess, train hard and work hard, maybe I could make my dream come true. And still remember the day, and still remember, the night and how many people were there, which is pretty weird. But I eventually got there and made my debut.
And so your first day when you rocked up to first grade squad training, what was that like that?
It was pretty nerve-wracking, especially having Wayne Bennett as your coach.
Yep.
He was, the best coach there has been, or there will be, in years to come. And so rocking up, and I guess seeing players that I've looked up to growing up, as Corey Parker, I really looked up to him and just like the way he played, and Semi Thaiday, who was he's a legend of the game, and rocking up and seeing those sorts of blokes was pretty daunting, but pretty special at the same time.
Did they come up and say hi to you or anything like that?
Yeah. So no, they were really good.
Yeah.
They come up, said hello, and just said, knuckle down, and don't take it as anything different. Just look at it as it's I guess your job, and you're here to do a job. And
And so, what about when you first got all the gear and everything like that? Is that mad?
Yeah, that was probably the coolest thing. Everyone loves some gear, and when I got the backpack, and the free shoes was a good thing. The free boots.
You would
have
still been Nike then.
Yeah, they were Nike. So
bro.
Yeah, it was the best.
Yeah.
They'd rock up with pairs of boots and shoes, and you go, well, how good's this? I don't have to, I guess, buy my boots and shoes anymore.
100%. I mean, Nike, I'm so devastated they lost that Nike sponsor.
Oh, I was spewing. I was absolutely spewing.
It's not even close to how killing me.
Definitely.
Okay, so when did you? So you were a part of the first grade squad, and then you trained with them. How long were you training with first grade until you made your debut?
So 2016 or and November 2015, I started training, and I ended up making my debut in May. So it wasn't,
So you were in the first grade squad, and then that year you debuted pretty much.
Yeah. Yep.
And so leading up to it, was it, when you did make your debut, was it a shock, or was it?
Or I was in the car, and no one had told me that I was playing that week, and I think it was what day? Well, Tuesday when the team list come out, and I was scrolling through Instagram and I see my photo. I was seeing myself on the Broncos Instagram, and I was like, "What the hell? What's this?" And as soon as I saw it, like I went to go click on the link, and someone called me from the club and like, "Oh, have you seen the team list?" And I was like, "Nah." And he's like, "Oh, you'll be playing this week." And I sort of just hung up the phone, and I was in the car, and I tried not to, but I started tearing up, and I guess I've done a lot of hard work, and I guess all that hard work was just so satisfying, that all that hard work I put in, and my dream was going to come true. And I called my dad and mum straight away, and they were over the moon for me. But I was in the car, and I started tearing up, and I couldn't believe it. Really, it was just surreal. I was pinching myself, and I couldn't believe it.
And so, like, scrolling through and seeing yourself, like, what the... And, like, it's on the Broncos thing. Yeah.
It was just so weird. Like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, well, ins and outs. And I was like, nah, it can't be right. Like, they've got the wrong person on the photo or something.
Yeah, someone's edited the wrong person. Okay, so you come to training the next day. What's the feeling like? Are you just, like, buzzing?
I was buzzing, but I didn't really want to show it. I was someone who just wanted to keep level-headed. But inside, I was
ready to go,
doing cartwheels. I was doing cartwheels everywhere, and we had video, and I went up to video, and I sat down, and then Wayne just said, "Oh, look, I was going to tell him yesterday, but I thought stuff him. I'll let him find out by himself." And
oh, really?
Yeah, as in a joking way. And it was pretty funny. And he said, "Joe, I'll be playing this week," and everyone sort of clapped and congratulated me, and went from there.
Okay, so the week rolls down, and was it at Suncorp or away?
Yeah, it was at Suncorp.
Oh, beautiful. So you walk in, it's all clean, the first graders locker room, you got your name there. What was that feeling like for you?
It was pretty special. I'll never forget that. I remember walking in and seeing my name, and my jersey was there with, the writing on it, and said my name and my playing number and the date and who I was playing against. And it was actually the double header.
Oh, really? Wow.
So, that was even pretty special, even though we were in the away sheds at the time, because it was Manly's home game. So it was weird being in the away sheds, but I was sort of used to it because they were the 20s away sheds. So I was in a comfort zone, and I sort of had been there before. The same lockers were the same on the other side, so it was pretty good.
And you run out that tunnel, Suncorp. What was that like for you?
It was unbelievable. So we ran out, and it was a packed house. There was 52,000 there, and especially when we run out, because technically it was Manly's home game, but it was like a home game for us. And the crowd went up, and I just went, "Wow, how good's this? This is something that I want to do for a long time." Yeah.
And what about So you went out to warm up? Did you say?
Yeah. So we ran out to warm up, and I ran out, and everyone must have sort of went and gone to the toilet, and because there was a game before ours, everyone must have got up, gone to the toilet, and, got a feed, and there was a lot of people there, but there wasn't as much as when I ran out and just went, "Wow, how good's this raw?"
Did you start, or we come off the bench?
Oh, so I was off the bench,
Off the bench. And so, what was your immediate? What do you remember from the game? Was the first tackle like? That you're scared because you're like, "Fuck, these are first graders," but then you get tackled and you're like, "Oh, that's actually not that bad."
Yeah, it was sort of like that. Like, I didn't know what to expect. When Wade said I was going on, I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, I was freaking out. And when I ran on, I think I tried to sprint to the play of the ball just so I could, take a run. Yeah. But Semi Thaiday scored actually, so I was like, "Oh no, I've got to stay composed here." And I got back, and Darius Boyd actually grabbed me and said, "How good's this? Enjoy it. Just enjoy it. You'll always remember this." And I went back off the kickoff, and they said, "Do you want it?" And I went, "Nah, no way. There's no way I'm taking the kickoff run. There is no way." And then I think, the second tackle, Cody, one of my good mates, Cody Nicarima, gave me the ball and took me first hit up, and it was something I'll never forget, and it was pretty special.
Well, and it's like, you play the ball and you're like, shit, okay, all right, sweet, let's
go. It was a massive spin out,
Yeah.
It was crazy.
And that feeling after the game, what was that like for you, speaking to your family and everything?
Yeah, well, that was, another good thing. went over to my old man and saw my old man in the crowd, and he was just leaning back like this with his arms behind his head. You know, he's pretty drunk, but he started crying, and he was crying. And
he's his son, mate.
Yeah, exactly. I think he was pretty proud of me, and got photos and whatnot, and went into the sheds, and that's when Wayne said, you know, congratulate Jai. You know, he's just made his debut, and
Yeah, it's nothing better than seeing your dad just like stoked.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. He's someone who tries to hide his emotions, and to see him walk over and see him leaning back he was either really drunk or he was just stoked for me.
He was stoked for you, man. He was stoked for you. He probably, you know what, he probably got drunk because of all the emotions he was feeling. He's like, I need to fucking get rid of these emotions.
I need some more beer. Give me a beer.
Okay, so how many games did you play for the rest of that year?
So I played 12 games that year.
Yep.
And so, 12 games. And
who was the hardest game that year where you were like, wow, that's the peak of NRL?
Probably either Melbourne, because they were such a successful team and such a...
Did you feel it when you played them?
Yeah, physical, wrestling related, and you know, they were a very physical team, and they were probably one of the hardest. Or the Cowboys, you know, when the Broncos and Cowboys always come together, it's always a close game, and it's always physical. And it was one of the finals games, the second week of finals, and that was probably one of the toughest games of my first year.
Yep. And is there anyone that you played that you looked across from and was like, wow, that's friggin'...
Oh, definitely Thurston.
Oh, really?
I think he's one of the greatest of all time,
you
know, debatably. And to look over and see him, and it was me being a young kid, I was just thinking, am I really playing this bloke?
Yeah, that's JT, boom, right there.
I'm still waiting to bloody wake up from my sleep.
Yeah.
But, it was pretty cool, I guess, to look at
it's like, there's
look
JT,
across,
but I'm going to fucking jam you if I get a chance.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I tried it. I'd do my best. I don't know how well I'd go, but...
Okay, so JT was that first year, what do you reckon you learnt the most in that first year as a young footy player?
More, I guess, you know, the first game I did come out and like, oh my God, I'm playing against NRL players. Like, I'm not going to be able to match them. But my second year, I come out and I said, you know, I've just got to be confident in myself and do the best I can, and you know, hopefully that
believe that you're on their level, kind of thing.
Yeah,
you deserve to be there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And so that was 2016. Did you say?
Yeah. Second year was first year was 2016.
And then 17 was second year.
Yep.
And you played 10 matches for the Broncos.
12 both years.
12 both years. Yeah. Okay. And so that second year you signed with the Titans. Did you had an offer from the Broncos, but it was like, you know what, I really want an opportunity to play regular first grade. Come down to the Titans, and what do you think? You know, your game has clearly improved dramatically. Do you think that's a matter of the fact that you're just growing, or do you think it's you actually really knuckled down this year?
I think it's firstly just my confidence. It's something that has grown a lot this year, and I guess it being a young squad, I consider myself being a what would you call it?
Not necessarily like a full-on first grader, but a mature player.
But a mature player at the club, and you know, I had to, I guess, lead the way with some of the boys because we were such a young squad, and I don't consider myself, I guess, a
senior player.
Yeah, senior player or anything, but I did have to show a few of the boys that a hard work and you no longer pre-season can go a long way.
For people that are listening, like when you're younger, you get away with a lot more because they're like, he's young, he's just trying to learn. Yeah. But as you get into your stage of your career, those excuses no longer matter. You know, you've got to be fucking on your game every single training session, ready to go. Yeah. And show the younger boys that there's no
exactly. Yeah. And as a younger boy, you do look up to the boys that have played before. If you've played, 0 NRL games, you're looking up to those guys who have played and have, I guess, really knuckled down and shown what they can do. And I've just tried to do that this year with all the young boys. Jai Whitbread, who's a good example. He's someone that he was at the Broncos and he's come down, I guess, looking for an opportunity the same as me. And, he's not too far away from playing, I guess. And I sort of wanted to try and teach him, I guess, a few things and hopefully it's working for him. I don't know if it has. I wouldn't be taking.
He
too
comes
many
out and plays
pointers
like
off
the
me.
worst game of his life.
Yeah, right. he'll come up and play, and he'll play the worst game of his life because I've taught him.
Drops like 3 balls, fucking goes missing, doesn't do any inside cover.
It did happen, Tom, let me tell you.
Okay, so when you get named, because like it wouldn't have been a sure thing to get named in round 1 for the Titans. What was that like for you? Was that a relief because you're like, okay, the risk has paid off. Coming down here has pretty much paid off.
Actually, I was pretty nervous that week leading up to round 1, only because I hadn't played any trials because I broke my ribs a week before the trials, and I guess I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if the coach was going to pick me or not. And when he did name me at number 8, I was like, whoa, number 8. Are you sure you got the right name in this number? Or because I looked at Jared Wallace and he's got a few kegs on me, and when he named me there, I was like, well, surely I don't look like Jared Wallace. Come on, surely.
You got a rough head, bro. Fuck me.
But leading up to that week, I was nervous. I was definitely nervous.
Yep.
I had only started 2 games for the Broncos at lock, and I guess starting in the front row was a bit daunting, but I was definitely nervous. But come game day, you're still nervous, but once you run over that white line, everything sort of changes.
And so was that the first time you'd played front row?
In a way, yeah.
Like
coming off the bench, I'd come on for the Bronx. I'd come on and play front row, but lock and front row are pretty similar positions these days. And
that's true. You're pretty. The only real difference is you're not defending on the edge. It's like you're in the middle pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. Just doing all the tough stuff, and I guess the lock can sort of ball play a little bit. And
okay, so do you think that's had something to do with it? Like you starting at front row? Do you reckon that's helped your confidence? Like, okay, well, I'm starting front row here.
Yeah, massively. When the coach, I guess, shows faith in you. I hadn't played a trial, and I only met Garth in November, and when he showed the faith in me that he started me, I just wanted to go out there and I guess back him, and I just wanted to do my best, and that's something I definitely do on the footy field, is try to do my best, and I will never give up. That's the sort of person I am.
And so what's it been, under Garth, he's new to first grade coaching. What's it been like for you personally being under him? Compared to like a legend like Wayne, obviously they're different, and but what's the difference been? Yeah,
well, obviously it would have been, I guess, pretty daunting for Garth to come in. His first year in the NRL, and it's been good. I've loved every minute of it, and I wouldn't have changed my decision for the world. Being here now, and he's been really well. If we've needed time off, he's given it to us, and stuff like that. So it's been really good.
And so who's someone that you come down and you've played with in the Titans that you didn't realise, but they're like someone that's so underrated that you boys really like playing with in the Titans side?
There's a few, actually.
Yep.
I think Nathan Peets is a big one.
Yep.
He's not the biggest body in the world, but
goes hard.
He puts his body on the line massively, and I think Mitchie Raines, very similar to him.
Yep.
They're people who aren't the biggest bodies. They're not the heaviest bodies, but they get stuck in, and they want to, I guess, do the best for the team.
And who's the most talented player you've ever played with?
Most talented? I'll probably have to say Milford.
Oh, really? That's 2 Milfords. Both Wallace said Milford as well.
He's an absolute freak on and off the field.
Really?
The things he can do with the ball, things he can do with his feet. And
he
snapped my ankles in half, I think, 1,000 times at training.
Really?
He's made me fallen over a few times. And he's a freak.
So just at training, he's just taking the piss?
Oh, massively. I'm at training, trying to work hard with my footwork and stuff. I just don't have it. Don't have it. And he's at training, and he's stepping 4, 5 people at a time, and it's pretty freakish.
Yeah. You were at the club. No, you come to the Broncos after the year after the grand final. Hey.
Yeah.
And so, is there anything from the Broncos that you like? Not miss, but is there anything different at the Broncos to the Titans that you feel the teams do differently?
Oh, in a way, every club has their own, I guess,
structures
and training facilities and stuff like that. It's all different, but
Yep.
Well,
Footy teams are footy teams.
yeah,
pretty
footy
much.
teams are footy teams, and they have their own things really.
Yeah.
And I
Um,
couldn't pinpoint, I couldn't pinpoint anything really.
And position-wise, do you think you'll end up as front row, or do you think you might move back out to lock, or where do you reckon you'll end up?
Or I'm playing lock at the
Oh, so,
moment.
okay, yeah.
So I'm playing lock at the moment. I love it there. So
Yep.
hopefully I'm there for the rest of the year. But I've just got to keep playing knuckle down and playing good footy, and
Yep.
hopefully the coach picks me.
And so with the, you guys have been a bit up and down. Like you had a tough loss last week. What's the feel around the club? What's the vibe? What's the chat?
It hasn't been bad at all. It was probably the worst game we played on the weekend against the Cowboys. Actually,
Yeah.
we were pretty ordinary, but the feeling hasn't been good. All the boys are. We're a close bunch,
Yep.
and we really enjoy each other's company, and that's a good feeling. And when you can come to work and you can get along with all your work colleagues, and
Yep.
all the coaching staff are great as well, and they've done a great job since they've all come in,
Yep.
and we're all loving it. Everyone's happy at the club. There was a lot of stuff going on before the season before even pre-season started. There was a
Yep.
lot of stuff going on here, and but all the boys from last year have just said like it was like a coming into a hospital. Coming into training last year was, but we're having heaps of fun now, and
Yep.
there's a good vibe around the club, and we couldn't really, I guess, go backwards.
Yep.
From what happened last year.
Yeah, it was a disaster.
There's only forward for me.
And so for you guys, recently with the massive crackdown with penalties and stuff, is that something that you guys have spoken, like the refs and that blowing penalties and making sure you're back to 10? What have you guys kind of discussed about that?
As a player, and when you're tired, it is frustrating when the ref blows another penalty and the team has another set of 6. It does get frustrating. You know yourself, and
Yep.
you're coming out from your own end and someone gives away a penalty, the ref blows the penalty, you're just going, wow, and they've got another 6 tackles. But I guess, in a way, I think they could be a bit more lenient.
Yep.
The game's based around fans. If there was no fans, there wouldn't be a game.
Yep.
So,
And
but
exciting for the fans.
yeah, it is exciting for the fans, but
Yep.
I don't know.
It's hard.
It is hard.
You get where they're coming from.
Yeah, I get where they're coming from. Yeah, but it is frustrating being a player, and when they blow that penalty, and
Yep.
you're just going, oh wow, I've got to make another 6 tackles, and
Yeah.
when you're playing footy, you more want the ball than
Yep.
defending. Attack's the probably funnest part of the game, whereas defence can takes a toll on you and takes a toll on your body as well.
Yep. No, definitely. And you came through the under-20 system. It's obviously scrapped now, but what are your thoughts on the 20 system, do you think?
I thought it was a good concept.
Yeah.
In a way. I don't know why they took it out of the,
Yep.
took it out, but I thought it was a good system. I had, some of my best years
Yep.
in the 20 system. I've made a lot of long life friends, and
Yep.
I still speak to most of the boys that I played with, and I think it was a great concept. And
Yep.
not having a game before the NRL now. People just come and go, sit down and just
Yeah,
go,
it's true.
what's going?
They should have
There's
a
nothing
national
going
reserve
on.
grade comp. I reckon they should.
Yeah, 100. I agree. I reckon
Yeah.
there should be. They should have a 20s, a reserve grade, and then the NRL. I suppose that's all based around money, and
Yeah.
that's more money that.
But I reckon
no
you
one
could
wants to spend.
go. It's kind of like college basketball and NBA. Like what you could do is you could have national reserve grade comp, but you make that a specific brand of footy, and then you make NRL a specific brand of footy. So like people that love reserve grade kind of footy, they come watch a reserve grade kind of
definitely.
footy. Like it might be more free flowing, or maybe what I mean. Like they test rules there that are like what they did with the 20s for a little bit, but they clamp down. I just reckon that's
it would. That'd be a great idea.
because people love college basketball over there, in
it's
America.
massive, and even college football over there, it's huge.
Exactly.
They love it.
because it's a different kind of footy kind of thing. So I reckon
What the college football games average? What would they get there? 80,000,
it's
100,000
crazy.
people.
They sell
It's
out.
mental.
100%. They sell out. it's a bigger population, but they've still got a product that people are enjoying.
Yeah, exactly.
So the next 12 months, let's say everything happens perfectly for you. You know, for example, you moved up from New South Wales, but you're pretty much Queensland since you were 6 years old. So you're a Queenslander, correct?
Yeah, yep.
And
correct.
so did you go to the emerging squad?
Yeah, so I went to the emerging squad.
What was that like? When you got the call for that, what was that like?
I couldn't believe it. I was shocked, to be honest.
Yeah.
Especially with some of the names in there.
Yeah.
You know, Corey Norman was there.
Our brother Normie.
Yeah, right. He was there. You know, I consider him a big time NRL player.
Yeah,
at the moment.
100%.
You know, he's playing some great footy. And,
Yep.
it was a bit of a spin out when I saw my name in the squad. I went,
Oh, so they didn't call you. You saw it again.
yeah, I saw it again. And
What were you doing? Were you just...
what was I doing? I think my mum texted me.
Oh, really?
My mum texted me and said, "Did you know you were in this?" And I was like, "Nah, wouldn't have a clue." So
Yeah.
I've had a few stitch ups with some of the teams I've made. But,
Yeah, fucking hell. Where's the frigging call?
yeah, right.
Like, what's
I've got
it doing?
a phone. I'm always on it too.
Yeah.
So it's not like
It's not like you're
it's
looking
not
at
like-
Instagram chicks or anything like that.
Yeah, nah, never.
Never do that.
But no, I went to that. It was good. It was on the Gold Coast, which is good. So
Yep.
it was close to home, and
Yeah.
went there and sort of had a few meetings, and we didn't train, which was
Oh,
good
you
on
didn't
the body.
train?
No, we didn't train.
Fuck, how good's that?
Yeah, right. So I went there into camp and had the buffet and whatnot, and
Yeah.
it was outstanding, and you know, sort of learned a few things. I sat down with Kevy, and
Yep.
he had someone with him for one-on-one chat, and
Yep.
you know, he just told me what he wants me to do and what he thinks I can do, and
Yep.
I guess I tried to take that on board and
Yeah.
take it into, I guess, club level.
Who was the person that when you got to the camp you're like, fuck, that's friggin' such and such, like you're blown up, a bit spaced out by?
Who was there? I'm not trying to think. Not the sharpest tool in the shed.
So obviously,
I forget
obviously
things
brother
pretty
Normie
quick.
was there.
Yeah, no, he was there, which was pretty cool. He's been going all right, actually. He's been going good.
Last game he played really well, brother
he did.
Normie.
Yeah.
What about like meeting Kevin Walters and that? Was that like, fuck, Kevin Walters?
Yeah, well, I had a little bit to do with Kevy at Brisbane. But then
Yep.
he got the full-time gig at Queensland. I hadn't really had much to do with him. So
Yeah.
to me, Kevy was pretty cool. You know, he's been a legend of the game. I think he's won 6 premierships and
Yeah.
played over 200 first-grade games. So
Yeah.
it was pretty special that, you know, he, I guess, picked me and let
Yeah.
me go to the camp and try to learn a few things. And, you know, it was pretty cool.
Did you feel the sense of importance that it means to, like Queensland means to them when you went in there?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's why they've been so successful over, you know, the past decade.
Yeah.
It's just the way that I guess that they want us to carry ourselves and get that mentality that, you know, we're Queenslanders. We don't let anything slide. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And so let's say the next 12 months, like what would be, you know, obviously, you know, you can't predict the future and there's plenty of good forwards out there, but what would be a time period where you feel you'd probably be ready to be considered for Origin?
Oh, that's a tough question.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would know or
Yep.
when they'd be ready for Origin, but if that time would ever come, well, hopefully I would be ready for it. And
Yep.
if it did come this year, that'd be a dream come true, but I'd just do everything in my power to do the best I can and try and not let anyone down, I guess. And,
Yeah. Is that something that is playing Origin something that's really like important to you, as in that would top a career off for you, or?
Oh, it wasn't at first, to be honest.
Yep.
It wasn't something I ever thought about, but to get named in that emerging squad, I sort of thought to myself, well, maybe it could be.
Yeah.
Exactly like I was with the NRL, you know, maybe it could be, but
Yep.
if it ever comes, I would love to, and it's something that I guess now that I've been playing week in and week out so far,
Yep.
it is the next step, and it's something I'm looking towards, and you know, hopefully getting the opportunity to do.
So you feel that getting selected in that, you know, emerging squad has really motivated you?
Definitely. I think it was a huge thing, and another thing come down to, you know, Jared Wallace coming down and proving himself, and it only took him, well, you know, less than 12 months to play Origin when he, you know, I guess come down and
Yep.
started at a new club. So they're definitely big motivations for me, and
And so how many years have you got left at the Titans?
So I'm here for another 2 years, so end of 2020, yeah.
Okay, cool. So in plans, like, would you, obviously, things change, but is Titans somewhere you feel like you could see yourself growing into the club and becoming a senior player eventually?
Yeah, definitely. It's home for me, as I said, and it's a great spot of the world, the Gold Coast. You've got the most beautiful beaches on the planet, and some of the, well, as I said, my family's down here, so it makes it a lot easier, and I guess it's good for my dogs. I can take my dogs. I'm 50 metres from the beach, so I can.
What are your dogs' names?
Thor and Coda.
Thor and Coda.
Yeah.
They're the friggin' loves of your life.
They are. They dead set are. They do everything with me, and I'm 50 metres from the beach, and I can just take them down, and they have a ball, and go for a swim with them and take them home.
You'd be so rotten with chicks, I reckon.
Yeah,
you'd be carrying on, shirt off, dogs, mate. You'd be probably taking selfies and shit.
Yes and no. I sort of go for a scope.
Has it ever worked? Has a dog trick ever worked?
Never.
It's never worked.
Oh, has it worked?
Has a chick ever come up and patted your dog and you're going, "How you going?"
Oh, no, it hasn't. I think it's more because I'm an idiot and don't really realise, or...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're fucking... That's a lie. That's a fucking lie.
Girls do love dogs, mate.
So no chick has ever come up and said, "Hey, Phil, how you going, bro? How's Thor's summer going?"
Nah.
Oh, mate,
I don't think so.
Do not believe you.
I've got the brain span of an idiot. So a lot of people would tell you that.
If someone said tomorrow, you're going to make the Queensland side, but you can't see your dogs for 5 years, would you do it? Would you sacrifice?
Is it weird if this is a hard decision?
No way. It's your dogs, man.
Yeah, I'm proper obsessed with my dogs. So
I won't. You don't have to answer it. You don't have to answer it.
Origin.
Origin?
Yeah, it'd be the hardest decision of my life, but I'd have to.
You'd be out there. This is for you, Thor.
Yeah, right.
This is for you.
I'd probably be crying before the game because they're taking me dogs off me.
And there's like New South Wales hecklers with pictures of your dogs on big
signs.
No,
wow.
In your head.
I think that's when I'd walk.
Then they're calling you a dog. You're a dog and your dog.
It's when I'd be walking off the field. I'd be walking off the field and say, "Nah, I want my dogs back."
Oh fuck. Okay, so yeah, what's the next few weeks for you as a team? What's the goal? What's the focus?
I think it's just to play consistent footy.
Yep.
We haven't really been consistent this year, and it's something that we wanted to do this year was to be a consistent footy team. And at times we have been. We put back-to-back wins on the board, but we want to put more, I guess, than just back-to-back. We want to go 4 or 5 in a row. Put ourselves in a good position, hopefully to making finals. So it all starts this week against Cronulla, who are. I guess, they're a big pack and a powerhouse. They won the comp a couple of years ago. So, we want to, I guess, build good consistency and hopefully going into September, we're there.
And so who in the squad, who's someone that you've learnt the most of since you've come down here?
Don't want to say, but probably J-Well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he don't want to say. He gets a massive head when you wrap him, but...
Arrogant.
He is. Nah, he's not. But he's been a massive influence on me, and he's always asking me questions, and he's always asking me, like, I guess, where do you think you can be better, and have you been working on it and stuff like that. So he's always kept me on my toes, which has been good. And as a young bloke, it's something that you need and you want.
And growing up, who was a player that you looked up to and wanted to emulate your game around?
I would probably say Corey Parker.
Yep.
I was lucky enough to play a few games with him, or most of my first year at the Bronx. I played with him, and he was just sort of a role model for all the young boys and most of the older boys too. He was something you looked up to, and someone I wanted to base my game around.
Especially his attitude of constant.
Exactly. He's always on the ball, and he's always doing things to make himself better.
Yeah.
And it's something that as a young bloke, it's something that you look up to and you want to do.
And who's been the hardest player you've played against?
Hardest player. It's a tough one. in the NRL, you know, there's a lot of good players.
Yeah, everyone's good. Who's the most like physical battle where you've been like, fuck, wow, that was a fucking...
Cameron Smith is, you know, he's not the biggest body, but...
Oh, really? He gets under you?
Yeah, he does. He gets under your skin a lot. And,
yep.
He's someone that is deceivingly really strong.
Yep.
And that hence why he's been one of the best for years and years.
So that was something you noticed, like, all right, there's a hooker there. He's a little bit smaller, and then he jams you, and you're like, shit.
Being one of the smallest forwards, you know, in the comp, I'm looking straight for the smallest guy. Yeah. I'm looking for someone small. Yep. And what I definitely don't have size on my side, so I'm looking for the smallest bloke to run out. And he's someone when I've run out, I've gone, geez, he's I don't think, he actually hits hard. So
you wouldn't expect it either.
Yeah, no, he's not the biggest body. That's what I'm saying. He's not the biggest body, but he's...
And even his body isn't like physically imposing. Like you have some smaller guys that are, you know, they're a bit bulky. Like you might look at Isaac Luke or something. You know, like you can see why he can hit. Yeah. It's like Cameron Smith, like...
Yeah, you're looking at him and thinking, oh, I'll run at him. But I've run at him and gone, well, I won't be doing that again.
Really?
Like, just the way he wrestles and stuff and the way he has you. And puts you in awkward positions that you don't like and that you don't think that, well, your body's not meant to be in. So it's not a good feeling. And I'll be thinking twice when I play him this year.
Any funniest prank that's ever happened between the boys?
Funniest prank? Oh... what is the funniest prank?
Well, not much pranks happening.
Yeah, right. There hasn't been many around here.
Yeah.
Maybe up at Broncos when Josh Maguire was chasing Anthony Milford and Alex Glenn around with a live snake. That I don't know if that being a prank or that...
That's just Moose being a fucking...
Yeah. It's pretty scary. It's actually pretty scary having a snake chasing you and someone's holding a snake. I think that's a good one. Or what else has there been? There's been a few boys who have moved their cars and some of the boys can't really find their cars and stuff like that. You start sort of thinking, all right, it's game's over, boys. Where's my car?
I actually need to get out of here. Favourite footy memory outside of debuting?
Probably making my club debut for the Titans.
Oh, really? So that really meant a lot to you?
Yeah, it did, especially being in my hometown. Yeah. And I had, my whole family there. My mum, my dad was there, and even though they don't get along, they come and they support me no matter what. And that was something pretty special, especially having my little nephew there. He come down, running down at the fence and come to say hello, and he was loving it. And he just loves footy, which is, it's satisfying for me to see him. I guess as a young bloke, I was someone who looked up to older players, and I'm trying to be a good role model for young kids. And my little nephew, who because he loves rugby league, I want to be the best person I can, and be the best role model I can for him.
And that's something that because you're close to him, you realise that there are other little kids like him that would look up to their favourite footy player. Yeah,
exactly. And I'm probably not his favourite footy player. I know he loves Jimmy the Jet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he loves Jimmy the Jet.
Roberts.
And, he just got a phone and he was showing me selfies of him and Jimmy the Jet that he took at the trial in Toowoomba.
Oh, really?
It was pretty funny. He's a little cracker. He's made his own Instagram as well.
Oh, really?
Yes.
It's just a different generation.
Oh, it is. He's 9 years old. Yeah, he's 9 years old and he's got a phone now and he's made an Instagram. Like, it's just bizarre.
That's crazy.
He's pretty switched on with rugby league, which is pretty cool, Yeah. As a young bloke, I always looked up to older players, as I said, and I guess he's sort of looking up to me, so it's a bit of a spin out, and it's something pretty cool.
And do you have any hobbies outside of footy?
Oh, I have a few. I don't mind a beer or two, only if it's with the boys.
And it's a bloke in a bar?
Yeah, a bloke in a bar. What a joint. It's unbelievable. And the beer, go try the beer. It's outstanding. What is it? The lager. The lager.
Yeah, lager. We actually just got a new pale ale. I reckon you boys would like it.
I'm not even a beer fan, and that the lager was.
Yeah, I liked it. We get a lot of good feedback of the lager.
Outstanding.
Any other hobbies or anything like that?
Hobbies. Oh, as I said,
other than stalking Instagram.
Yeah. I do like going to the beach. Yep. I don't mind that. The dogs love it, so it's pretty easy to take them down and get them in the water and get me in the water, or don't mind to hit a golf with the boys as well.
Yeah. Who's the best golf player in the team?
Oh, Who would be the best golf player in the team?
Who thinks they're the best but are terrible?
I'm telling you, Jay Wall thinks he's good, but he's shocking.
So Jared Wallace is a bum at golf.
He is shocking. Oh,
That's a
whoops. Yeah, Jay Wall's shocking at golf.
And he just carries on like a pork chop. Mate.
So he's all gear, no idea.
Oh,
He's got these nice, beautiful Callaway clubs.
Yep.
And anyway, he's like, "You want to come for a hit?" And I was like, "Yeah, all right, let's go." And he's teed off, and he's come back and swung back and went to swing forward, and he must have hit right underneath the ball, and it's just popped up and just gone a metre, and I've gone, "Oh wow!" I reckon he did that every shot.
Mate, he's a bum.
Every shot.
He's a bum. Any strange, superstitious stuff you do before games?
I wouldn't consider myself superstitious before games, but I think I would be. Only because I have certain ways I have to do things.
Or what's
sort of have a routine before the game.
routine?
The routine. What is the routine? So I listen to music, and probably, actually I am superstitious now that I think about it. And I always stop listening to music either in between the 39 minutes before we run out, or the 2-minute bell, or 37 minutes in between 40 or 37 minutes.
That's literally the definition of
That's when I start sort of getting ready, and I turn my music off, and then I take my clothes off. I don't know why I take my clothes off certain ways.
Tell us the way.
Yeah, so what do? I take my shirt off first, or my shoes come off first with my socks. Take my shirt off, shorts, undies, put my skins on, and I fold it up and put it up on the locker or wherever it goes.
Yeah.
And then I go and weigh myself.
Yeah.
And then I put my shorts and socks on. I go and stretch. I have this stretch routine that I do.
Yep.
And then after the stretch, I go and put the boots on, and have to put the electrical black tape on.
Yep.
I've been doing that since I was 4 years old.
I was going to say, you don't need it anymore with it.
Yeah. So I've been doing that since I was 4 years old, so I still wear black electrical tape over my boots.
Yep.
And, I wait till about, I don't know why, I'm weird with times, before like 10 to 7 minutes before we speak to the coach.
Yep.
I put my jersey on, and I warm up and play in my jersey. I don't wear the warm-up shirts.
So that's pretty much the definition of superstitious.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, I am, definitely.
Favourite rapper of all time?
Favourite rapper? I like Kendrick Lamar. I think he's pretty cool.
Oh, Kendrick? Yep.
Yeah.
Kendrick, he's
young, he's cool.
Yep.
Knows how to rap. I'd love to be able to rap like him.
Oh, mate, I'll be rapping every day in front of chicks.
Yeah, right. 100%. Love me.
100%.
I can rap.
Man. Favourite movie of all time?
Favourite movie? I'd have to say probably the Marvel Avengers. The new one's just come out, actually.
Yeah, like just today.
Yeah, so I'm pretty keen to go and watch that.
Yeah.
So probably, the Avengers.
The Avengers.
All the Marvel movies.
Sweet. All right, thank you so much, brother, for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good luck for the rest of the year.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Dunskies.